Well, hey there. How are you? It is nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. I am Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage in Springfield, Missouri, and I am so blessed to have you with me. Thank you so much. It is going to be a wonderful day. It is beautiful here. So beautiful, so warm. I am just a few seconds late because Jeff and I were sitting out on the deck enjoying our coffee, and the day's just going away so fast. Just sitting out there enjoying the cardinal calls. Today I am going to be using a few stamp sets because what I really wanted to use today was this Cheerful Sunflower. Now or Celebrate Sunflowers. This is an old set that was from a couple of years ago. I think this last catalog is the one that they got rid of it, and I was so sad to see it go because I hadn't used it as much as I'd planned to, and so I'm going to continue to use this, and today is that day. But because not everyone can buy that now, I am also going to use Cheerful Daisies. This is one that's a good substitute if you cannot get Celebrate Sunflowers, and of course Be My Valentine. Now I cannot get done using these cute little bees. They are so cute and so easy to do. So because they are so easy to do, I am just going to do it again today. It is part of my new business plan, which is to kind of piggyback on my newsletter. So if you are not getting my newsletter, please go to my website, which you will see when I put the camera down. But if you Google Kathy Crow's cards, if it doesn't come up, Stampin' Up, comma, Kathy Crow's cards, comma, put in Springfield, Missouri, and it will. Or even just Missouri, and it should come in. There is a Kathy Crow with Stampin' Up in Illinois. So if you live in Illinois, you might want to find out what she's up to. But I'm not exactly sure. She doesn't live in Springfield, Illinois. Now that would be really sweet. Kathy sometimes checks in and just to peek and see what I'm up to. And Kathy, wouldn't that be awesome if you also lived in Springfield, Illinois? That would really be fun, but probably way too confusing. One of us would have to spell our name different. All right. But anyhow, so I am going to get started. I think I am going to have to take my sweater off because I have two sweaters on. I have my little cardigan and I have my regular sweater under it. And I am wearing a short sleeved sweater today because I knew it was going to be warm, but I had no idea it was going to, they said it was going to be this warm, but I really didn't think it was going to be this warm, and it is warm. So I feel like I'm already getting a sweat going here. All right, so let me try to find myself on the computer so I can see your comments. I always have to refresh it. It doesn't come up for me. Oh my goodness, not only did it not come up, it took me away from my whole page. Come on, what are you doing? I'm going to have to put my glasses on here to see what's going on, because I think I totally lost even my Facebook page, why won't it let me go back? There, it did. It let me go back. There I am. I can see my arm. Let me get the sound off. And we are golden and ready, and now I can see what you see. It looks like I froze for a minute there, but oh well. All right, let's see what's going on. You can see my ink pad, sorta. Good. Okay, I think we are good. You can see over here what I've written. Here's the website. If you want to subscribe to my newsletter, please go to that. This is mostly just a blog. I've had to reduce it because I just could not afford to pay the fee. So I used to keep all of my cards on there, and you could find projects from way back, and I just can't afford the storage and the fees that they charge to keep that current. So I had to reduce it to an amount that I can handle, which means that you have to go to Pinterest if you want to see old things. You're only going to see mostly current stuff on this website. And in my newsletter every week, I do give tutorials. I'm going to coordinate it with this, hoping to get a few more people to come and see what's going on and like and share, because that's kind of what Facebook looks for. If no one's liking and sharing, they assume no one's watching, which is different than YouTube. YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel and it marks how many subscribers you have. So even if those subscribers don't watch every week, it still counts in your favor, and it's a much friendlier venue. But the problem is that with YouTube, I haven't been able to really see my comments all that well, and I can here usually in Facebook. So anyhow, if you want to buy this is actually, don't put in the suite. This comes with paper. It comes with this punch. It's a wonderful suite. But don't put it in because it will come up as unavailable. But each item is available separately. So the bundle, which is the stamps and the punch, is available. At least it was last night when I was looking. The paper is available, I believe. So you can get these things if you like. I would get Cheerful Daisies. This is like a super basic set that I love. It has really nice dies. We're going to be using those today. I'm going to use it a little differently than I have in the past, and so that's why I'm bringing it out. But I really like Celebrate Sunflowers, and you can usually find some old things on eBay or Etsy, you know, places like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, you will be spending a ton of money for this. It's always better to just buy it brand new. You're going to spend the same amount or more. Sometimes stuff like this they're trying to get you to buy it for $80. And like, seriously, I got it because I'm a demonstrator, I probably got it for $40, maybe even less than that. And the dies and the stamps. And that's why you want to be a demonstrator. So if you have not joined yet, or if you are with somebody that doesn't offer you any value for being on their team, quit. You can anytime you want to with Stampin' Up. There's no reason why you have to continue if it's not benefiting you to do so. So go ahead and do that. You can join us anytime. You also can quit anytime, as I just said. There's no obligation to keep it up. It's just something you can do if you're checking it out and feeling the waters and seeing if it really works for you. There's discounts on all of your products when you join, so you want to join because you get it cheaper. You can't get Stampin' Up stuff cheaper unless you're a demonstrator. Well, you can like once a year, twice a year maybe, when they have special deals, but that's so rare. And by the time the special deals come out, things like this are sold out, are unavailable, and you can't get them. And that's another reason why I'm a demonstrator, so I can always get that stuff. My square stores right here, there are classes there, painting, coloring classes, not painting. I am not a painter. Even watercolor is a challenge for me, so I don't do that too much. I'm not going to ever offer anyone classes in watercoloring. I have no talent with that, and which is another reason I buy all those blends. So coloring with the blends and the markers and sponging and watercoloring, but with the pencils mostly. Here's my newsletter. These are QR codes. If you hone in on that with your phone, it should come up. All right, so we have only 3 more days. 3 more days? 3 more days of celebration, and there are so many free things. I've got some things marked off for people who have joined. I'm going to pull one over here. This is one of the free items you can get. Isn't it cute? This is like one of my favorite free items ever. It has this little tag that you can put with the flowers. It has nice texture stamps. Look at that little dragonfly. He's so cute on vellum. He would be so neat. I haven't done that yet, but I have used these because these are dogwoods, but they also look a lot like those single beautiful roses. Really pretty. So there's one of the celebration things you can get for free. They have a nice sentiment one. This one's actually going to be perfect for Mother's Day and Father's Day and Easter, which is coming up early this year. And I love how the font is different from the rest of the sentiment. That is so cool. That is a really good one. These are, this dogwood one, you have to spend $100 or more to get. These other ones, though, you get for free with a $50 order, and I love this. This one is just for babies and new little ones but you can pretty easily change this basket into a basket for holding other things too. I haven't done it yet, but I know you can. That would not be hard to do. And I don't know if I'm going to have time to get to it, but that's what I was planning to do. Now, I am going to use today with this paper, with this card set, I'm going to use Nature's Sweetness paper. This comes with the Lovely and Sweet, as in S-W-E-E-T, sweet. The Lovely and Sweet, sweet. Say that 3 times fast. But this paper is actually called Nature's Sweetness. And it's really pretty basic, but it also, pretty as in pretty color for basic cards. You could do, botanical cards, but it has a lot of gold foil. Like that one's just a script. This one's a nice little flower sprig, but it's gold. You can see that, can't you? It has this crosshatch gold with the back. It's pretty cool too. Oh, look, this has been my favorite sheet. I think I've used, this is probably about all I have left, but I think I bought another whole pack of this paper because it's so pretty. This is my style. I love this sort of thing. It would go really good with any shabby chic sort of thing. No, I did buy another pack and I put all the paper in here because I've been going through it so quickly. Look at that. Oh, and I do really like this is pecan pie, but it's very similar to our cinnamon cider. You remember when we had cinnamon cider? I bought a bunch of cinnamon cider because I thought, I know, Stampin' Up, you get rid of colors, but I don't. I'm keeping these colors, and cinnamon cider is going to stay in my collection. So I bought, like, I don't know, at least 2 or 3 packs of paper cinnamon cider, and I also bought a bunch of ink. And so I'm cinnamon cidered for good for a while. And then after I did that, like a year after, then they added pumpkin or pecan pie as a basic color, which is so similar. I thought, wow, I shouldn't have done that. Now I've got all this cinnamon cider, and I'm probably not going to use it for a while, but I will. I will use it up eventually. All right, you're going to want to take for our cards today, I am going to just do basic white for the inside, but for this card, isn't it cute? We're going to do it, this is not a slim card, sort of, but it's kind of. Okay, so this card is about 3 1/2. It's a little bigger than that. So we're going to want this base card is going to be 7, right, by, just a hair short of 6. We'll call it 6. Okay, so you would take your white cardstock, and I'm going to talk old school here, even though you probably know exactly where I'm going with this. But I started doing videos in the first place to show new stampers how easy it is to do and how fun it is if you don't obsess over little details. So we're going to start with this. Oftentimes I'll say cut white cardstock, blah, 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 blah. It's just a standard card size. Well, this one's not a standard card size. It's going to be 7 across. So in order to have more down here and save it and use up my white, we're going to go ahead and score this at 3 1/2. Okay, I'm going to score it like that and fold it because I know it's going to use up most of this sheet. And then I am going to cut it on this edge at 6 inches. And then I'm going to cut it again right here so that it's across the 3 1/2. And this is now my base card. Okay, and I'm setting that aside. This is usually how I do. Now I still have this big piece of white that I can pull off to the side and use anytime I want to. For the we're going to do 2 cards today. It's going to be pretty quick and easy because these bees make it so easy, and so do these flowers. You're going to be stunned at how easy it is. This one, I believe, is a standard one. Oh, I've already got, I bet, white cardstock cut 4 1/4 by 11. So I would just put it at 4 1/4 and cut straight down, and it'll be 11. But I think because I've already done one like that, I'll bet you I did one already and saved it. Let's make sure. Yep, about 4 1/4, so we're going to hang on to that. That one's already ready to go, so we'll push that one over there. Let's do this one first. This is my sunflower one. This is the one that I was the most excited about. So my background color is, I wanted it to have 2 different yellows, because sunflowers used to come just like in 2 yellows years and years and years ago. When I first started looking at garden seeds, didn't seem like there weren't that many sunflower colors, at least available in your not commercial, but home, packets that you'd go to the discount store or whatever to buy. Well, now they have all of these. You go down to the same store and there's just so many. In fact, I have one on my kitchen counter. I didn't bring it in, but I should have, because it's amazing how many colors you can get in sunflower. But we're going to stick with, because bees don't seem to care what color the flowers are. They like these centers with the seeds. So it doesn't matter. Some do produce better seeds than others, and I think those yellow ones generally do. So we're going to stick with standard yellow, but to make sure that our 2 different yellows stand out, because the die actually cuts a teeny tiny little bit there. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to bring my camera down to see that better probably, because it's darker as I get it up closer to you. Anyway, you're gonna really love how this die works. And it does work kind of, it's not as detailed in the daisy one, but it's still similar. It's similar. You can tell those are not sunflowers though, can't you? So this is crushed curry. We're gonna go ahead and let's do a 3 1/2 inch piece of crushed curry this way and 6 inches that way, and that is going to be the background for this slim card. And then we will put this aside and we'll use, we'll cut this piece at 5 1/2 and 4 1/4, and then that's going to be the base for our standard size card. Okay, it looks like my card stock is just a hair bigger, so let's cut it down just about 1/8 of an inch. It's looking like, so there's no white hanging out on the side there. Okay, perfect, or close to perfect. I'll use my scissors if it needs any additional, unless you're a real perfectionist, you're oftentimes going to find that you have cut things just fraction of an inch different. We all do that, so please don't panic and think you're not as good as somebody else. Now, this is Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to just cut it in half so it's easier to work with. So I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2, but I'm going to just be using this to stamp, and my flowers are going on that, and the bees are going on that. So I don't think I need the cutter right now for anything else. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I forgot, I got this. This is my background paper. I love this side too. It's just, I need it to be not too busy, but I wanted it to be special for this. It's really, really pretty paper. So we're gonna have, instead of 4 1/4, we're gonna come down just a tiny bit to 4 1/8, because I want only a tiny bit of that crushed curry showing on the side. It's kind of vivid. So let's make it only 1/8 of an inch shorter. So this is 5 3/8, and now let's see if that's gonna work. For a very, very skinny 1/8 inch border, it does. And then this one is going to be, first of all, we want that to be 6 inches. So that's good. That'll be plenty big enough for that. Instead of 3 1/2, we're going to go to 3 3/8. Actually, let's do a 1/4 inch on this one. So we're going to go to 3 1/4 and maybe a hair bigger on that side. And then instead of 6 inches, I think I want it to be just a little shorter than 6 inches, because our card is 6 inches. So we're going to come up almost to that 1/4 inch. And now let's see if that's going to be the size border I want. pretty close. We're going to hang on to that. Now you can keep all of your little scraps. These papers are so pretty. I'm actually going to throw that skinny one away because I have quite a bit of this. So it's unlikely I'll need that skinny piece. But if you were hanging on to it, you could put it even on the inside of the card. And it would be nice. I'm having a hard time getting it to slide back into my paper. There it is. All right, now we're done with that. And now we're going to stamp and cut out our things. So we want to do our bees and our flowers on this. So let's start with our sunflowers. Oh, I love this one. It's so pretty. So pretty. Now today I might not get out on the bike. I hope so. It's such a beautiful day, but by the time I get out today, I suspect there's going to be a lot of people out there. Wow, this is a big stamp, isn't it? Very big. All right, let me look here. I don't think I'm on. There we go. That's better. Okay, now we are going to use, I'm going to use pumpkin pie because my favorite sunflowers are those really dark maroon ones, or these yellow ones with a lot of orange. They're mostly orange, in fact. But I wanted it to mostly be yellow because I do think these yellow ones generally have better sunflower seed production. Actually, they sometimes have better sunflower production too. So I want bee-friendly flowers, so we're going to do this, but I'm going to use my paper over here on the side to stamp off, because this pumpkin pie is pretty strong. In my sample cards, I actually used a retired pecan pie, or no, pecan pie, what was it, Grapefruit Grove, and that color's gone. So I'm going to use a stamped off version of pumpkin pie's almost the same. It was a little paler, so I might try not to get quite so much ink off of it. I actually really like that. That turned out really pretty, didn't it? I hate to stamp it solidly down, but let's see. Let's just see how it looks. Yeah, it's pretty vivid. I'm going to leave that. I do like it. It's pretty. We're going to use both of those. And then I just need, I forgot to rinse out my, you're drying out. I don't know if you're going to last through my whole show here. I might have to take a minute and go rinse that out because it's hard on that side. It's drying out. Our Simply Chamois is actually a great tool. It hangs on to the ink once you've done that cleaning. Hangs on to it beautifully. I'm going to use my pen to color these centers, so I don't need to do anything else with that just yet. Okay, so we're going to set that aside, and then I'm going to actually, let's see if I can, I don't know if I can get my daisies in there. I think I'm going to need to do my daisies on a whole separate piece. So we're going to keep the orange out. And we're going to go with Cheerful Daisies. Cheerful Daisies, what I need to do with it is I need to cut the die out. Now this die does coordinate perfectly with the flowers, but you can see my flowers are separate. I'm looking to see, did they come that way? Because I actually might have separated them. If they came hooked together, they could have actually come manufactured all hooked together with the leaf and everything, but I'm not seeing that leaf stamp. Is that in there? Let me see. I don't see the, oh no, there it is. So I bet you it did, but that's not me. I don't operate that way. I need things to be separated because I'd rather put them together later myself, so I can do different ink colors on them, not just one ink color. So because I did separate it, whether it was already or whatever, I wonder if I can do it on this. No, it's not enough, quite enough room. We're going to cut this out first and then stamp it. That's the opposite of how you usually do it. You usually want to always stamp and then cut. But in this case, since my flowers have to be exactly in the right spot, we are going to cut and then stamp. So because it's a photopolymer, I can do that. If it was a cling stamp, I would not be able to do it this way. All right, that actually came out pretty good, didn't it? But we're gonna use this and get that off, and then we will clean that up. We'll move this here for a minute. I'm gonna be bringing it right back again. Now we don't have this tool anymore. What we have now is a pick a tool, which is handy because it actually has that roller brush. It has another pick tool like this. I mean, you can buy, I think the pick a tool it comes with one set of ends that you put into the tool, and then you can buy a separate little set that has this and other thing. I mean, it has like endless tool, which is fine, but I just keep these right in here. I use the pick a tool for other things instead of this, so it tends to get forgotten and overlooked, but I do have it. It is handy. I just don't use it for this. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go ahead and stamp this before I get out that cutter again. And then we can see where we are. So 3 more days for celebration. You will not find a better deal for Stampin' Up! Items than right now. For every $50 you order, you get a free item. And I showed that to you. For $100 orders, you can get 2 $50 type free items, or you can get 1 $100 level item. So if you're spending, always spend at least $150. When you do that, not only do you get 3 $50 level items, or 1 $100 and 1 $50, you also get, you know, anything in the catalog for that's $15 or whatever for free. Now in Cheerful Daisies, you've got this colored one that will color that, but I just want some orange in this yellow. I don't really need more other color. So we're going to take our pumpkin pie and this one, and we're going to stamp that right on here so you can see how easy it is to do this. Oops, I already inked up the side accidentally. Let's get that out. Okay, so this is going to be pretty strong. I think we're going to be okay with that. So you can just figure out, you can see pretty easily where the petal placement goes. It's a little harder for me to do it when I'm way up above my project, but if it's off a little, like you can see it is, it doesn't even matter, because you're just kind of getting some orange in there, and that's all I wanted. I just wanted to make these flowers look more bee friendly, actually, and more like sunflowers, because, you know, sunflowers are the perfect flower for bee things. So when I saw this bee by Valentine set, I wasn't gonna buy another bee set because I've got 2 other ones that I like perfectly well. But these bees are so cute, and they actually work really well with these flowers. They're the perfect size for my sunflower ones. My sunflowers are so big. Now you could find big, you know, little tiny bees, it's true, but big fluffy bumblebees, that's what these bees remind me of, are the big fluffy bumblebees. All right, now these are actually cone flowers. I know they're called Cheerful Daisies, but they look like cone flowers to me because of this cone. But we're going to just pretend that they are sunflowers. I'm not going to use the little flower that's there. So we're going to, I mean the leaf, not flower, but the leaf. We're going to snip that guy off. I don't even need you. And now we're going to take these and color the centers, okay? Because I want these to look like sunflowers, all of these. I'm going to take my paper and stick it right here, because this is going to kind of color off onto this. Oh, this is actually our glass mat, which is one of our free items with your kit, your starter kit. If you want it, you can, instead of getting the glass mat, in fact, I think the glass mat might not even be available now. Is it? Is the glass mat available? I don't even know if it is. I should have looked to see if it was. I want a pretty dark brown, so I'm getting out number 200. This is one of our flesh tone ones. That one's pretty dark. I wonder if that's the color I want. Either 200, or we do have pecan pie. Pecan pie is more of your cinnamony color, so I think I'm going to start with you. This is the dark pecan pie. And I'm going to bring my camera down a little bit so you can see what I'm working on here just a bit more clearly. All right, so let's start with the daisies with our pecan pie. And oh, I forgot, you know what? We're gonna color it like this with this, just the center. But I'm not gonna just stick with this because it kind of, I don't know, it's smooth, and I really like smooth most of the time for coloring. But when you have a center that's supposed to be reminiscent of sunflower seeds, like it in that one, it didn't make so much of a difference. But with this one especially, see how weird it looks when it's so smooth? I mean, it does not look like a seedy color. You know, it's the right color for where the seeds are, but it's so smooth. It doesn't, I can see some of the detail in my stamp. It's too smooth. These blending pens are perfect for coloring smooth, like painting, you know, with water where it runs and all. They're perfect for that. But when you want any texture, you're going to need either pencils, and I'm going to use a pencil today. This is Cajun Craze. I think I need a darker one. You're going to want to use a pencil. You're going to want to use a crayon. I also have crayons that I use. This is Early Espresso, and I've actually, it's getting pretty dull, but I think it'll work. So we're going to take this and get the sides a little darker. Now I'm going to pull you right down here so you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. Okay, so we're going to just color these sides of the seed area a little bit, just to get some color going into the petal a little bit, for one thing. And then I'm going to use this to kind of make it, this is not as big a deal because it has all of these little holes. So for this one, it really wouldn't even matter. Just color it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't look smooth because it's got all of the little seed holes. And if you wanted to put little tiny bit of a dark Early Espresso or some other dark color under it, it would, or even black, it would probably be better. You could do that and it would look great. Because the kind of paper I've got under it, it's not going to be necessary. Here is where it's an issue. Now for this one, you can see through my ink color that I did with this pecan pie, you can see the little raised bits, so it looks better on this one. But see how this one looks? So again, so smooth. It's too smooth. So we're going to take our pencil and we're adding in like as many of my little sunflower seed color as I can get. My pencil is kind of getting dull here, but I'm doing this very quickly because I don't want you to have to watch me do this like forever, but I want you to just see that you don't have to live with a flower center that looks dull and smooth. Just liven it up. Okay, we're going to darken that edge. Because remember, for these sunflowers, I've got a dye that's going on top here, and I really want a darker edge, and I actually kind of want more of this color in it. So I'm going to just scribble in here, because that ink color actually ended up being much lighter than I wanted. This is Cajun Craze, and you can't even see it. What I actually need is, I think, black or really dark brown. If you have other pencils, you could use a different pencil entirely. Let me see if I can find black in here. All right, there's basic black. And we're just gonna put that in here. Needing something darker because I colored over it with that early espresso. So now we've got our seeds. Okay, that's all I'm doing with the pencils. And, oops, I kind of messed up my camera. I'll have to fix that here in a minute. All right, so now what we're gonna do is take the crushed curry that we did the backs of the cards with. We are going to cut out, I just need this on the side in case I need to do something with that. I need my sunflowers. Okay, so let's put you over here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to be needing that. All right, so sunflowers, we're going to use this die with crushed curry. And I need to cut the flowers out as well. So we'll use this as well. But I'm not using any of these others. There is this, die that you could cut from dark brown if you wanted that cone to kind of stand up at all. But I don't. It's going to be just fine as is. So we'll do one here. Oh, man. I love this one. I'm really getting ready to see flowers. Every time I go down to the park, I look around to see what there is. And, oops, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. I just need you to see my board, really. There we go. That's probably better. Oops. Move it out a bit more. We had snowdrops down there. The Helleborus, or Helleborus, however you say that, they were blooming, but you know what? They ripped a whole bunch of them out. I was so disgusted because I told myself, stop. This is not your garden, first of all. And that's the good news, because you don't have to take care of it. And if they want to put a nice statue in the middle of their Helleborus, however you say that, it's the Lenten rose that blooms in the winter. They have every right to do that, But they did ruin that bed. I was so disgusted. Thought, man, if I worked for these people, if I volunteered and said I'd be happy to take care of your Helleborus bed, especially since I probably could have gotten a whole lot of nice free Helleborus that year that you pulled out all the, Helleborus. They are not blooming. There are the white ones. They're pretty. But all the nice burgundy colored ones, the pink, dark, moody mauve ones. Oh, man. I think they aren't all gone. They didn't just rip out the bed, thankfully, but they made a big, giant circle in the middle of the bed. Or if not in the middle, close to the middle, and ripped out all those plants and dug a big, deep hole and filled it with cement and some kind of a steel post. So they're putting something really nice in there, but I like flowers. So I was not as thrilled as someone else obviously is going to be when they come and see whatever it is they're doing there. And they didn't do it just there. The other beds that they did the same thing with, I did not mind a bit, because they did it in places where plants had either, been declining or not, doing really well, or they just were more common and not all that exciting. And I suppose most people probably aren't all that thrilled with Helleborus. They're probably not that thrilled with it. It's a plant that you have to pretty much get on the ground and look up at it to see the flowers. And I'm not kidding. I do. I get down on my knees, and hopefully it's not too muddy out there, and peer up at these absolutely stunning little flowers. They're not huge. They're about that big. When they open really big, they're maybe that big, which is pretty big. You know, the common ones that are the cheapest, they're usually not that big. But they had really nice ones down there. So the Helleborus have been disappointing this year, but the snowdrops were out. They've been out, actually. It's probably been 3 or 4 weeks. No crocus. In Richland, Washington, for those of you who are my Washington people, or anywhere over there in that area, remember, I always would go out, and February 10 was the date. I could be sure that I would see at least one of my little yellow crocuses out. And I bet it's blooming in my old garden, but I don't have my old garden here, so do not have any crocuses. I think the squirrels must eat a lot of the bulbs here, and then also they just rot. I'm pretty sure I planted some crocus in our garden and in our pots out there, and I don't see any of them coming up. So maybe they're more susceptible to rot than the other bigger bulbs. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to find out. Because if not one comes up, then I'll never be planting it again. And crocus just is not going to be something I'll be able to enjoy. That's okay. I can live without it. They're not that great. They only last a little while. It's just that they're very cheery after a dreary winter. But we don't really have that kind of a dreary winter here. It doesn't last that long. Our falls are usually really nice until quite late December hits, and you've probably still had some fall weather going for some of that. And then there's Christmas, and I don't care about anything then, because Christmas does its own thing for enjoyment. All right, now with your sunflowers, there's one place where the petals kind of go whoop and make this little swoop to the right. I need to find my big scissors. This is slow. And so all you need to do is find where that little swoop is on your die. And then once you've found it, you're pretty close to being able to get your die in place to where the other flowers are. Now that's not it, is it? I'm gonna have to get my darker one in that I can see better first. That one I can hardly see. So I can see where these go. There. And it's not there. It just takes a little bit for you to kind of figure out, oh yeah, that's where it goes. Right there. That's where it goes, right there. Okay. Some people mark their dies so that they can see exactly where they can get it on the image, and I just don't ever bother doing that because I guess I like having fun with it. I don't know. Partly I'm afraid I'm going to get ink on my paper because I have such an issue with ink. I think I don't know. I'm always getting ink where I don't want it. Now, isn't this wonderful? This is how this works. Now that you've got that, you find the same little swoop spot, and you're going to put it right over your flower. And look at that. Isn't that lovely? We're going to actually, before I glue that on there, we're going to color that. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside with my little other daisies over there. I'll try to find that same spot that I was having such a hard time finding. Now I can find it. Perfect. All right. Oh boy. This is one of my all-time favorite flower sets. I was so happy when this one came out. All right, let's put that aside. We'll put the covering on it aside. And then what else do I have to cut out here? Oh yeah. Let's do while I have this out, I am going to stamp my sentiments. So I'm just going to grab a white scrap here, and we're just using black. Let's put this die away because I don't need that. That way, and I'm going to actually use this die, Let's Celebrate You, and then I am going to use the Wishing You the Brightest Birthday on this one. Okay, so we're going to just stamp that with black ink. That's the other thing about these bees. These bees are, if you're a beginner, this is a really good stamp set to have, the Bee by Valentine, because, wait, what do I need? I need this one. Because you really only need black as your ink. And basic black, this is our tuxedo, basic black. You're going to have that. It's like one of your basic colors. You will never not use it. It's definitely one you'll use again and again and again. Okay, so we'll go this way, giving myself plenty of room to get a long enough die on that one. That one's wide and going to be kind of long, so I'm going to turn it to do the other one. Hopefully I can get this cleaned off here. I'll just set it aside for a minute. We're going to do Wishing You the Brightest Birthday. That one's going to be a little smaller. So I just have a different block on that. Wow, what did I knock down? Oh, it was my little pencils. Let me move those. I had them right in the way. There, now we're all set. So let me get these cut out, and then we'll clean off my stamps. Oops, sorry. All right, so what we're gonna do to cut these out, I've got just one set of dies is gonna do you. You've got, this is seasonal labels dies. I'm pretty sure these are still in the catalog. I don't know, but this is the perfect size die for this long one. The seasonal labels dies, I'm sure it's in there. I hope so, because this is the perfect size. Oops, let's turn it that way so we can get all of the wording in there. And then I think I'm just using the smaller version of this. Let me move that one. We're going to use this one. But what I'm going to do, we're going to put all of the words in here. I want the words to stay in the center part, because I'm going to end up cutting away some of it so that we can have a nice little yellow backing to this sentiment. Let's pull that out so hopefully it doesn't move. All right, let's see if that cut out properly. Oh, good, it did. All right, so we're going to do that, but we are going to also do a little piece of, we could either do the yellow, I think we'll do yellow with it. I'm going to use that same die in a spot where there's a scrap spot. Let's use this one over here. Okay. And then I'm going to just cut one of those out of this Daffodil Delight. And then we'll have a nice special little label to use. Okay, I really like these seasonal label dies. They're really pretty. You can make a whole lot of things with them. They aren't stitched, but they're still really nice. All right, now let's clean off some things so that I can put them away. And what did I do with my, there it is. That one cleaned off. So these are called cling stamps. These are the photopolymer. And it is really nice to have photopolymer because you can see right through them. They're especially useful for two-step stamping. These flowers have a background that's solid more. There's some lines in it. You can see that right here. So you can color it. You can just stamp the color. You don't have to color these stamps. Color them. Just stamp it in pink and it's pink, green and it's green, yellow and it's yellow, etc. And then this is the outline one you can do of the same color or a totally different color, and it's going to put that on that same flower. And you can stamp right onto the image because you can see through it. So photopolymers are very, very useful, especially if it is a two-step stamp, because that's called 2 steps, 1, 2. You know what? There are 3 steps, 4-step stamps. And they used to sell them only in cling, and I bought them, and I've given all of them away now that they're in photopolymer. And when I look to see if it's a 2-step stamper, if it's not photopolymer, I usually do not buy it anymore. Rarely do I, but it's only because I have a Stamparatus, and if you don't have a Stamparatus, which is something we don't even sell anymore, then you're out of luck. So if you have a Stamparatus, you can still use that. I'm going to clip off this side for this sentiment. Trying to do it straight. And then we're going to glue that right on there. And then we have a nice little bright, because it says wishing you the brightest birthday. You want it to be bright. So we're going to put a nice sunny yellow daffodil. This is perfect for a day like today. That's beautiful out there. Oh, if you are living in one of those places that's getting tons of rain and it's cold and yucky, I feel so sorry for you. Because if you were here, you'd be enjoying the park with me this afternoon. I am definitely going down there. All right, so that one is done. And now we are ready to assemble our cards almost. Let's do our bees. I want 3 bees, and because I ran this through, there's kind of a texture on there, but we're going to use this side, and I think we'll be okay. This is the easiest bee thing you're ever going to find. And there's a solid bee color. If you want to do it on white, you can. I'm not going to. I'm going to use this. This is the simpler way. We're going to just do the stripes for the bee, if I can get it off. There he is. Okay, so we just need 3 of these. Let's go like this, so you can see what I'm doing. Oops, now I'm way too that way. Let's go out a bit. There we go. All right, so I want to make sure this is a nice, strong black. I'm making sure I've inked it up really good. That's looking pretty good. Because, again, it's photopolymer. If it wasn't solid, I could do it again. It would not be hard to do. We just need 3 of these guys. Oh, they are so cute. I think I only need 3. I think I might even have an extra in there. No, I must have used him. All right, and then you've picked the face you want. There's a variety of faces. I think they're all super cute. Just sort of depends on what kind of a personality you want to give your little bees. I'm not going to do their faces until after I've punched it out. And then we are going to need the little wings. Okay, so you've got the little wings. This can be a background color for the wings if you want. I have never used it yet because I've used a window sheet. In fact, I still have 1 pair of window sheet wings to use, and I've never used it. I might not use it now because it's actually quite easy just to keep the background color, as you will see here in a moment. So we're going to just do our 1, 2, 3. I don't want to get too close to the bee, so let's do a set here. And I'm going to do 1 more set in case I want to. I might want to do something different and have, like, for this one, I put his wings up above because I didn't want to cover up my flower. I didn't want it to stick out. But actually, if I put him over here, I probably could have had the wings at the side. So I might try that today and see how that looks. I might like it better. So those are the wings. And then we've got our little antenna. Okay, let me find a really teeny tiny stamp. This is a teeny tiny stamp. So let's get a teeny tiny block so I just don't rock it and get a ton of ink all over the place. And, okay, so we want one. Let's do 2, 3. That's all we need. And we'll use that for our little faces after we punch these guys out. I think this bundle, oops, why are you guys don't go there, that's why. I should be putting these back exactly where they go, and then I would be having less trouble figuring out where they go. Because they do have the image right on there to help me out. Oh, he's the guy. This one's the one that links. Where does he go? He goes right there. Okay. Cute. All right, now let's grab the punch. Okay, I'm going to take this off. And we're going to take some of that off, some of that off, some of that off, so that it's easier to punch. I know some people have had even, I need a handle. If you make it too short, sometimes it's hard to manage without a handle. Okay, let's see here, go there and there. All right, let's see if I can manage this now. Make that the handle part. So just slide your little bee in there. I have not seen any bees yet out in the garden. Today, Jeff and I said, oh, there's our first fly. Because when we were sitting in the coffee shop this morning, a little house fly came buzzing along to bother me. He usually bothers Jeff. He was bothering me, but only one time, and I whisked him away, and he found some friendlier spot to go to. We had no food, so that's always helpful. If you just have beverages and no food, they leave you alone better. All right, so it looks like hearts. They are. They can be hearts, but they actually are our little wings. I might have to put a washi tape handle on that one. Let's try this one. See if I can get it in there. If not, all you do, this is going to be too hard, too complicated. Let me grab my washi tape. Any tape will do. I'm going to just grab a piece of washi tape here and make a little handle for punching these out. So I can slide it in there easier. There we go. That's much better. Oops. Come on, you can do it. There we go. All right, there's one. I need my handle back. We're going to be using you a few times. Okay, there. Like I'm having a hard time here. All right, there we go. There's that one. I'm getting it. Let's try this one. Oh, that's going to do that one first. I better do this one first. I probably don't even need my little handle on this one. You just want to look when you stamp pretty close to your image. Make sure you're not cutting something that you stamped already. If you are, just clip it off so it doesn't get stamped. I've accidentally stamped or clipped things off that I didn't want to clip off because I didn't realize it was in one of the other holes. Now this little heart is for these little antenna. Look at that. It just cuts that right out for you. So nice. I love it when they do these things that are so helpful. Let's see if I can do it without having to get a handle on there. That's pretty close. There we go. That's pretty close. There we go. That's close enough. And one more. I want to get the point here showing more than the top because that is how it is going to be glued onto the little bee. All right. Oh boy, I'm getting warm with all of these lights on my board here. All right, let's pull you down a little this way, and I think I'm going to use a glue dot. I used glue on them, and it does hold it really good. Man, it was messy. I've decided today, let's stamp their little faces before I do that. I'm going to put this here, and we are going to stamp their little cute faces. Now, I want one's going up. One's going, let's see, let's look at this card. If my bee is here, I think, yeah, then I'm going to want one going that way. So that's how I want them, that way, and then this way. Okay, just checking to make sure I'm getting the faces in the direct, because you can turn these bees over and have them, it's the other nice thing about this set. You can have the bees facing any direction you want to. You aren't limited to having to do a mirrored stamp thing. I hate doing the mirrored stamp thing. You just stamp on a silicone sheet or something and then push your cardstock or paper onto it and it transfers it, but telling you it's really hard to get a great impression doing that. So I do not like doing it. We're gonna do one with this happy little face. Oh, you're so cute. Okay, just one with that happy little face, and then we're gonna do one with, I know I have used this stamp set before with you one time before Valentine's, but I like it so much, and surprisingly, it's not gone. Stamp sets like this tend to disappear really fast. And I think because the marketing came out late enough that it just didn't have a chance to really sell out before Valentine's was gone. So that was actually good, because otherwise these things, they just are gone, and only demonstrators managed to get any of them practically. And oh sheesh, it's hard to get excited about things when no one else except for demonstrators are ever going to be able to order it. But come on, if it doesn't hit the mass market, ooh, that is bad. You're going to have to be redone. We're going to put your little face the other way and see if I can make it work. Because your little face can't be all smooshed like that. You look like you've got a little freckle. Let's just do a whole new one, okay? Because we can. It's not hard to do. And I've still got plenty of this here. I really messed up that face. That was not really, I could have salvaged it going the other way, but then he would have been going a different way than I want him to go. I need to clean that. It's not sticking like it should. Okay. There. And then we'll punch. I've done a lot of these bees. That's why he's not sticking all that great. I've done a bunch. Oops. Let's get that edge off so I can get that in there. It's still not quite. There we go. Now I should be able to get it right down in there where I need it. And we'll try that again. Don't push too hard. All right, there we go. So cute. I like that one. That one's my favorite one. That's more like a bumblebee. That's like a bumblebee. That one's like a bumblebee too. That one's more like just any old bee. Bees have their own personalities. Did you know that? Probably not. I'm sure you're thinking she's nuts. They don't, but they do. Bees, bumblebees are nice. They are very, very nice. They will not bother you too much. All right, let's see why my camera looks kind of weird here. I'm gonna hold on a second. Just hold on. Let me see if I can get you a little better. There we go. That's better. All right, so now I'm gonna take my little glue dot and stick it on an antenna. And we're gonna stick that antenna right on his little head. Now that one is the one that I didn't punch it out all that well. So I'm actually going to have to trim around that a tiny bit. Normally you would not have to do that. But that one was just not quite punched out good enough. Okay. These I did a better job. I punched closer to where the top of the antenna is rather than... Oh, I'm out of glue dots here. I've got 3 left. I do have another whole pack, so we're good. These are pretty fat, and I don't really need it to be as fat as that. Oops, wrong side. I need you in the front. That is the other nice thing about these glue dots, is they... there we go. They roll, so if it's too big, you can make it as small as you want. All right, little antenna right there. And how you position your antenna gives it personality too. You know, if it's forward like that a little bit, it's like perky. If it's back like a dog lays his ears back, it's a lot more calm or cynical. Because they have a face in here that I would call cynical. It's this face right here. He's got a sideways glance going, like, I'm only here. I'm only here for a while. Not thrilled about being here. Okay, so I want the dot. The glue dot needs to be on the front of your. Okay, so there's wings. Let's grab another pack of glue dot. And get this one on here. And then I'm going to put my flowers on, put the card together, and we're going to see. This is the really happy, fat, sassy bee. We'll decide about these wings here in a minute. Let's put the card together first. All right, so we've already cut out everything. And we've got, no, not everything's assembled. I forgot. Let's assemble these because I still need to color these centers. Put this down and this down. We've got this was kind of dark, This was the 200. This was the pecan pie. Let's do the pecan pie. It's dark pecan pie, but it is pecan pie. I'm just going to color this. I'm not quite going to the edge of the flower because sometimes your ink can bleed in there. And if you're not careful, and I'm using the fat edge just to speed things up. You do want to be careful with these fat edges. It tends to bleed more using them, and you can really ruin your nibs if you are pushing very hard at all. So I don't use them a lot generally. But remember we talked about this being too smooth. I don't really want too much smoothness out there at the edge particularly. So I don't want to use that all the way out. We're going to just use it most of the way. And then I think I am going to have to sharpen up my little pencil. So let's grab out my little sharpener. And sharpen. If you have an electric sharpener, which I do, and it breaks your tips for your pencils, get one of those. That is one that I found at an art store. That's not one you would find in the school supply section anywhere, and it works great. Keeps it nice and clean. It has many, many sizes, so I can do my crayons. I can do any pencil, and it was really inexpensive. It's never going to break down like my electric one's going to at some point, because I think Jeff and I, being educators, he's a teacher, I was a para-educator, but we both had to buy pencil sharpeners all the time, just because school districts tend not to fund teachers the way they need to be funded. And Jeff would forget to save some of his yearly money, for purchasing, to buy a pencil sharpener. He'd just forget. He wouldn't think about it. And it's like, well, I need one at school too. And I can't count on these teachers I'm working for to buy one. So we will buy two, one for me, one for you. So we've bought a lot of pencil sharpeners over the years. And believe me, the quality in those have gone down significantly over the last 20 years. Can you believe it? I'm sure if you have been a teacher or you've worked in a school, you know exactly what I'm talking about if you've been around very long at all. A lot of things like that just don't get made as well as they used to be. And I'm sure people 50 years ago were saying that same thing. Like, it's a piece of junk. They used to sell this. We used to hand crank it and it worked great. Now these electrical ones that we're using, they're a piece of junk. They don't work at all. All right, so I'm just doing my seeds, and I could get the black out and do it, but I'm not going to because I think that's going to be good. And look at that. Isn't that cute? You do want to lay it on there to see, is there any yellow showing through? Because if there is, instead of using that pencil, which is a little slow, I'm going to just use my ink and make sure I don't have any yellow in the center bit. I don't really want any yellow in there. And now we can assemble. All right, I don't really want to use glue because it's very, very messy. I'm going to give something a try. These are our little folders that come with your dies and things. I'm saving these, and I use them to do tape on the back of this. You can take your Stampin' seal, make sure it's started. We're going to do this. Oh, come on, Stampin' seal. Why are you? There you go. All right, we're just going to apply it right over these edges, making sure it's still coming out. This is the slick side of that folder cover, and it's wonderful. I can put my tape on here, and it sticks to that and doesn't stick to everything. But I can get enough. If I think I maybe need just a little bit more here and there, I can use my glue, but you know what? This is messy, and very time consuming to use glue. So I wouldn't do it. I'm going to use my tape. All right, so let's lay that down. Find the spot that's got the little swoops to the side. Lay it on there. And there you go. Aren't you cute? Look at you. You look so nice. That one. We're going to do the same thing with this one. Find a spot that's not... I'll just get the other side out. Get my tape started. Stampin' seal. You're stuck to my finger really nicely, but there we go. Now you're coming out nice. Perfect. All right, now one thing about it, if you do this, when you turn it over, you're going to see all these little areas where, I don't know if you can on the camera, but I can see some glue in those openings from the tape. And you can just kind of use your fingernail to clear those out. It's going to stick to your fingernail, but it's better to have it stick to your fingernail than to be on top or in the openings of your image. This is what you do with these really fine little die piece, you know, almost filigree-ish type things that you're cutting out to lay on top. This is what I do. And that way you can get your tape. Now my finger is like super taped up right now. So I'm going to clean that off before I get too carried away. Or what I'm going to do is end up just transferring a whole bunch of tape from my fingers to the top of that sunflower. So let's just clean that off really fast. All right, it is nice to be getting almost done. And I do have to say, these cards are some of the nicest ones that I've made. And for as nice as they are, it's only going to have taken me about an hour to have done these two, which I suppose for some people, they might think that's kind of a lot of time. For those of us who love doing this, it's not. It's something that we really enjoy. It's relaxing. For me, I do Stampin' Up! Just to send, I want to be able to send cards to everybody I know and people I don't know, and I do. I also donate them to places, schools, hospitals, retirement communities, and it's nice to be able to do that. They really appreciate getting these cards because they're special. And if you have bought any greeting cards at the store, you know how much cards like this are going to cost people. They could never afford to buy cards like these to give to random people, unless you were, you know, willing to spend hundreds of dollars on just card giving, which, you know what, I do because I like to make them. So it's also a hobby. And if you have other people in your family that have hobbies, you know that hobbies cost some money. The other thing is that with Stampin' Up!, if you want to be a demonstrator, it does not have to cost you money. It actually, if you can be more disciplined than me, which is possible, believe me, it is. Many people do it. You don't have to spend any more than what you earn from just getting a couple of people together to stamp with, and then having them buy this stamp set. And voila, you got the stamp set for free. So anyway, this is it. And you only have 3 more days to do it. So you should probably be doing it, is my point. It does really help me keep the weight off. Not as good as it did when I first started, just because I was using it at night to cut out labels. So I had all these labels and things on hand in different colors. I found I wasn't using all those labels. And I decided I am not going to be doing that at night. So I haven't been doing Stampin' Up! At night as much as I was. And at night is when I eat. So, I mean, overeat. Like I really want those potato chips or Doritos or whatever. even though I shouldn't be having them. For me, I have to be really careful with my weight because of the body type I have and the age I am and just the nature of my heritage. I looked up on Google last night, how many calories should a 60 or 65 or even 70-year-old woman consume in order to not gain any weight? And they said between 1,600 and 2,000 or 2,200 calories a day, which I laughed. I thought, oh, they are such liars. I do not believe this stuff. They're big fat liars. They know nothing. Like, I don't know any woman. Maybe they're out there, but I don't know them. Who's my age, who can eat 2,000 calories and not gain weight. I exercise a lot, so it has nothing to do with that. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to put this here. We're going to take the sentiment and put it here. And I'm just kind of eyeballing my little... This is the only bee I don't have the wings on, because I kind of wanted to put the wings on the side, but I couldn't really fit him in that way before. Yeah, he can go in there that way very well. So let's stick those wings on. Right there. Oops, I didn't quite get it. Come on, you can do it. There you go. And we're going to put him there. And this one. Oh, no, not there, there. Okay. Like that. And then if you're, at all like me and you like things to be nice and neat and tidy, if you're really fussy about it, you can trim around your little wings a little bit. But it's totally unnecessary. They look pretty cute just as is. We're going to stick that guy there. Oh, yeah, that's going to look great. Aren't those beautiful sunflowers? I love these. They're so pretty, but we are not done yet. So I'm going to put glue on this one. And I like the little swoop. So the swoop's going on the top, right there. And then this one, I want it to have some height. So we're going to do our dimensionals on that. So let's put a few of these on here. Yeah, there we go. And there, and one, oops, I only need one in the center, but we got a couple. All right, you know what? I'm gonna use tweezers to pick that off. I ruin my nail polish a lot picking off these dimensional backings. I've decided that's what ruins my nails the most right now, because I'm not gardening right now. It's still pretty dormant out there. Okay. Now, I want this swoop to be down here, just so it doesn't look exactly like the top flower. And then we're going to take this and put our dimensionals right on the very edge, because that's going to go right over those flowers. That looks, oh, let's make sure I know which is the top and bottom. I don't know how many times I've made a mistake on that. And then what we're going to do is take our little bees. I'm going to put my dimensionals, attaching that stuff a little bit better, just to make sure that, especially since I didn't put glue on it. If I had put glue on it, I wouldn't be worried too much about it. But if I've only put a glue dot, it's a little sketchy. Oh, thank you so much, Elaine. You are so kind. All right. Do you have this set? I hope so. It's so cute. All right. And the little wink is just perfect. Okay, so we've got 2 more bees to stick on here. Oh, remember, not 2, just 1, because I want this one to go with this card. All right, actually, I think I was thinking this one's going, oh well, whatever. We're going to put this one on here. I want the happy face on here. Now, I'm going to have my bee up a little bit, but I don't want him to cover. I think I'm going to glue him to the flower, and then we're going to just put a dimensional here, just to make sure that he's nice and level, and he's not, you know, wonky on it. So we're going to put a little glue right here for the front of his happy little face. That's sticking on pretty good. I think it'll be good. And there you go. Happy, happy little bees. But we're not done. This card is too special to just leave as it is. We're going to have to add these little gems. These are adhesive backed milky dots. I don't even know if these are still available. I hope so. Adhesive backed milky dots. They're the perfect color for this. These gold ones. So any gold ones actually would work. I just really thought these looked great on my label, but especially the little teeny tiny ones around the center of my sunflower. Oh, so pretty. They look so nice. Okay, you can add as many as you can afford to stick in there. Okay, because sticking them in the center would look good too, but I'm pretty much going to just have them around on the edge. Isn't that nice? Let's take that one out because I'm not going to put it in the center. I'm just going to put them on the outer rim. I have another package. Ooh, that's the blue one. Anyway, I really like these dots. These are really pretty. It comes in that blue, and there's a pink, and this white is nice too. I love these gold ones. Okay, I'm going to take my scissors and take off my card there so I can see right where I'm placing these dots. Okay. You just want them to look random there, but not too random. Oops, not there. Nope, not to my finger. I want you on the card. So cute. I love it. Oh, I know I've used up a bunch of those dots, but I just think that card deserves it, doesn't it? Okay, now we've got that. That's the sunflower, remember. You have to have that or you can't make that one, but you can do this with these cute little daisies. Now, because that is a darkish background, I can lay these daisies right on there and they would be just fine. But I'm going to go ahead and adhere it with black dimensionals right on the back sides. And then that's going to make that center look darker and better than if I used my white ones. And I don't really need to do the flowers. It'll be fine just as is. And partly it's because I want to take my bone folder and we're going to just curl those petals just a little bit. Be really careful. These daisy petals are way too easy to rip off. So when you do this, you're just applying a little bit of pressure just to get a little bit of a curve going. And then with this one, normally that flower petal goes the other direction, curving down when it's doing that. So we'll try that and see if that works. Try to get the backs off here. Oh, you do. Excellent. I'm so glad. And don't you think these bees are perfect with that sunflower? I mean, I think when I made my sunflowers before, I don't think I put any bees with it because the bees we had at the time were they were pretty small and they kind of would get lost. It's just such a beautiful sunflower. It kind of, All right, now this guy's going the wrong direction. I had him facing the other way. So we are going to stick him over here, and he's going to look a little different. He's leaving the card instead of coming into it. When I made it earlier, I wanted him coming to the flower. Well, this guy, he's left. He's already done his business, and he's going. We're going to go ahead and just use those black dimensionals on the back of this, if I can find them. I see my white ones, so I'll just use them. Oh, it's going to be a while before we see sunflowers here, even as warm as it is. I'm just resisting going down to get, I could get pansies. Probably pansies would be okay. I want to see some of that DSP at the top of this label, and it's barely able to be seen, but oops, don't turn it. There we go. Nice and straight. And then our little bees. So cute. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope that you are having a lovely day and making it a good day for others. The fact that we make cards, part of the reason we do that is because we want other people to just appreciate the good things they have in life and get some enjoyment out of it. And card making is a way to encourage people to think about the better things in life. Wishing you the brightest birthday. If it's your birthday, there are people in February, quite a few people in February that have birthdays. There's another lady on my team who has one. I have one in February, but we are almost done with February. Like I said, 3 more days for all your celebration items. Just 3 more days. Next week, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'll have to look at my newsletter to see what is up for the next week. I'm just not sure. All right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. You have a wonderful day, and good luck on all of your endeavors. It's a whole week ahead of us, so we have a lot of things we can get done before March. Remember March. Ooh, we have Easter in March this year. Very early, it seems like to me. So I hope you're ready. I think I am, pretty much, because I don't have to do much, because our grandkids don't live here. So I think I'm going to need to buy some things and send. I don't even think, I know I made Easter cards already, but I'm going to have to hunt them down. I think my Easter cards that I made last year were ones I liked better than the ones I did this year, so I'll probably send last year's. That's okay, isn't it? All right, great. Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye.